And even more bullshit. Don't wear yourself out, honey. We're not gonna fight for these lazy elves.
You have to listen to me, please. I know you're angry with the elves for not entering the war earlier. But today, with their help, we finally have a chance to win.
With what's left of their army? You gotta be kidding, sweetheart. They got taken out once. The second time's a done deal.
Black Frost is no longer here to support his army. And the elves are no longer on their own. We, the scribes, and the mercenaries too, will be with them. And here's Vulcan. He'll be helping too, and as you can see, he is no ordinary mercenary. I beg you, please. If we join all of our forces together, we can win.
I gotta give it to you, Sugar. You sure know how to use that mouth of yours. But you don't know nothing about war. All I see here is the remains of an army that I got no reason to fight for.
What better way to prove my worth than a duel? That's how we settle differences of opinion in my company all the time. All right?
I got a guy who should make you happy. If you beat him, I might change my mind. With what you got under your belt, who knows? Well, you can really back up your words, mercenary. Who knows? Maybe with guys like you, we can actually win. We're with you, Vulcan. You can count on us for the assault.
An undead? In our camp? Aren't you afraid it'll communicate with its masters? Sir?
It's a calculated risk. Your friend Edwin told me that she can interrogate those creatures, so we captured one.
You really can do some pretty weird things.
Listen, Vulcan. We're not going to turn down any information. If we can find out how to haul our asses out of the fire, I don't see how it can hurt. Ready to make it talk?
If our fire breather doesn't need me right away, I can start getting ready.
Excellent. Let's start the interrogation.
Listen, maggot head. You're going to tell us everything you know.
That's not quite how it works, Captain. It can't just answer questions like that. Tell me what you want to know, and I'll dig around in its memory to find the answers.
In that case, why not dig everything out, so we don't miss anything?
Even for someone as skilled as me, that could take weeks. Its brain, however limited, is like an immense archive that contains both recent memories and memories of its past life.
All right. I want to know if that bastard Black Frost really has left the area.
Let me concentrate. Yes. I see him raising the wave and turning the whole city into ice. This soldier must have been at his feet. Then he gave the order to attack and gave orders to several powerful undead. Apparently he left right after. He appears nowhere else in its memory.
What are those powerful dead you were talking about?
I see a flying creature, like the one in the swamp, and others. The image is blurred.
So the army is being commanded by a tormentor now?
No, I don't think so. They make good spies, but poor leaders. That said, I don't see any real generals.
Nothing that looks like that one that attacked the village.
No, but Black Frost will definitely have left someone in charge. Someone he trusts. This soldier just didn't see who.
What were the Black Frost's orders?
You have to understand that this creature's ability to comprehend is limited. From what I can see, it was told to keep watch over the city. He asked to be sent living people. Prisoners. The other living people must still be alive and under guard. Other prisoners. And of course, that he be informed in the event of trouble.
Does he know we entered the city?
This dead thing doesn't anyway. But that doesn't mean a thing, unfortunately. I think that he... Oh no! He saw me!
Huh? Who are you talking about?
Well, well. Probing the spirits of the dead? You can well imagine that this sort of communication goes both ways. So, that's where my dear rebels are hiding, is it?
I must break the link! Right now!
The knight has come to ask help from his friend. While on reconnaissance, he spotted a convoy which he thinks should be stopped. A group of dead walkers transporting an object. He thinks they should be attacked, and the object taken from them while there is still time. The broken road will only slow them a little. The knight and his friend must get there as quickly as possible.
Okay then. Let's go for it. I have to go somewhere with Ranval. Wait for me here.
Very well, but be careful, please.
Was worth it. Especially if we take the time to strip the others before we head back.
Vulcan! Is that you? Help us get out of here!
Head to the southeast. You'll find an entry in the support pillar. Take that passage, and then look for an opening in the cliff face. The rest of the company is hidden there.
Got it. There's another camp of prisoners over there in the west. Not any of our guys, but maybe we should try to free them anyhow. Do you want us to give you a hand?
No. Get out of here.
See you back at the camp. Good luck.
Gonna need it. the support pillar in the southeast of the city. You'll come out near the cliff. Follow it and you'll come to a rift. Go in. The elf army is there and they'll take care of you.
Thank you. See you back at the camp.
That's right. The mercenary salute. I have a few... Let's change... Since you arrived, the enemy seems to be aware of our every move.
Truly. Surprising that they haven't yet arrived here to destroy this camp. Most interesting. Or perhaps very stupid. In any event, I do feel sorry for you. One doesn't seem to be able to put one's trust in anyone these days.
You don't understand. What I want is...
But I understand perfectly, my dear boy. I'd merely hoped that you were above this kind of nonsense. Since my arrival here, I've been surrounded by your friends, something that rather precludes the possibility of me talking to the enemy. I have not once left the camp, and no one deigns to speak to me of strategy, which is a pity, given the evident levels of incompetence of your generals. Thus, it seems obvious that these suspicions are unfounded. You know, since arriving here, I have the odd feeling of standing in a turnip field.
A turnip field?
Yes. It must be all the superior intelligences that surround us. Trust me, child. You should leave this area as swiftly as you may.
You would know more about the Deadwalkers than us. Who do you think the spy is?
Walking around in a dead body doesn't make one an expert on all other dead things, young man. In fact, I find the suggestion vaguely insulting. But I have learned to trust my experience, something that you, despite your youth, should attempt to do also. I imagine we could quite easily reduce the possibilities. Firstly, the traitor must be able to enter and leave the camp without being stopped. Then, it must be someone who can observe your comings and goings without drawing attention to themselves. Lastly, it is someone who knows your plans, someone who knows your military commander's orders. That alone excludes a large number, particularly the undead here. In your place, I should go and question the camp watchman. Logic suggests they will have seen something.
Thanks for the tips. I'll get right on it. Talk to you later.
I've taken a tour of the camp, and it's like a sieve.
Huh. What do you propose?
Well, I'd be safer with a few dozen well-placed traps. Do you think you could build them for me?
I'll take care of that as soon as I get a second. Let's change the subject. Here's all that I could find. I doubt I'll be able to find any more.
Each stone that you can recover is precious. I can't thank you enough for what you've already done. You're giving us back our memories.
Let's change the subject. I built your traps. Okay, here are your traps. Now you just need to put them in place.
Thank you. I must admit that I'm relieved it was you who built them. I'd been living in fear of messing up my hairstyle permanently had I tried to do it.
I have a few questions I need to... Elves are pretty rare. I haven't had the chance to talk to many. Can you tell me more about your people?
We are born in the trees, eat only seeds, and we spend all the livelong day singing.
I get the feeling you're fucking with me.
Perish the thought. Well, it's just that we aren't that different from you humans, despite what one hears. Our civilization is obviously a bit older, so we have had the time to learn from our mistakes. We don't really live in the same rhythm as you do. We move a little slower, and most of us are prone to having at least some respect for the past. This is the reason why we never destroy anything, that we prefer to build on top of things.
I've heard that you are immortal.
That joke has lived for 15 generations. I will never get tired of it. No, we're not immortal. We live long lives, though, much longer than you. We are resistant to poisons, rotten food, and toxic body odor, apparently. Unfortunately, these things do not make us immortal.
Don't elves ever make war?
That's an impression we like to give other people. The fact is, we do go to war, just never against each other. You must understand that, given our long lifetimes, battles are fairly futile. This may well be what has motivated the choices of our king concerning the Ice Lords. But we certainly know how to fight, and you'll see proof of that soon enough.
So it's the prince who gives the orders?
The word orders may not be the best one. We do not submit nor obey easily. Our kings are a reference, wise men who can point out the way. They tend to guide us rather than give us orders. But to answer your question, it is his father, the king, who is the leader of our people.
You seem different from the other elves I've met. Where are you from?
Really? I seem different. And yet I have such pointy ears. And if you really want to know, I actually come from one of the most ancient and noble houses that exists. I'm even linked to the royal family. But I can assure you that I'm sufficiently far down the line of succession to be in no danger of being crowned. And my reputation is no help either.
As far as bad reputations go, every mercenary has got one, so we're used to it.
Let's just say that I got into enough trouble to eventually be considered a traitor to my people. When I got involved in the war, I disagreed with decisions made by the king. He thought that this war, like so many others, would not last. That the conquests won by the Ice Lords would melt away like all the human victories before them had. But I thought differently. Right from the start of hostilities, I began to requisition certain resources I felt necessary for those doing the fighting. More food, more weapons, better armor. When my people discovered what I'd done, I was declared an outlaw, and many saw me as a thief, which, in a manner of speaking, I guess I was.
You refused to obey the orders of your king, and you stole resources. No wonder they outlawed your ass.
Nonetheless, I was right. The Deadwalker army is a threat to us all, and not only the humans. If we had entered the war at the start, joining with the humans, we would have had a chance of defeating them. Today we might already be too late. The human armies were decimated, and Virtual is in ruins. So perhaps they consider me a traitor, but my conscience is clear. It is my people who should be ashamed.
I'm guessing this is not the way you'd always imagined coming back to your lands.
For years now, I've been waiting for the day when I can go back to my city. But deep inside, I've dreaded this moment. If I was ever coming back home, it could only mean one of two things. Either I'd been captured by my people, or I'd been forgiven because I was right. I would have preferred being captured. My city has fallen, and I do not recognize it.
It doesn't matter what condition this city is in. We didn't come here for a guided tour. What matters to me is how we get reorganized and who with. I hope that your elves are pissed off enough to put up a fight.
If they are feeling anything like what I do, then I guarantee that the Deadwalker army will be suffering very soon.
I sure hope so. Let's change the subject. I'll leave you here.
Mercenary, I owe you my life. I'll never forget that.
How did you get out of your coma in the village?
I don't know. All I know is that I opened my eyes and heard the sound of fighting. I just had the time to grab my weapon and get out into the village square. It looked like the general of the Deadwalkers was waiting for me. Sometimes, the sense of duty is more powerful than the pain of wounds.
Maybe the cure we made finally worked.
Relmar told me about that. Maybe you saved my life twice, not just once. Who knows? In any case, I owe you a lot. I won't forget it.
Do you know Relmar well?
I knew him well. A long time ago, when we were young. He and I were milk brothers. We grew up together in my father's palace. But life goes on, and by the time we were adults, we were forced apart. Relmar defied my father's authority, and openly rebelled against his people. He betrayed us.
He had a good reason for it.
A good reason? What reason? Dragging us into a war with the Ice Lords without preparation?
It's true that entering this war without preparation would have been madness. At least you're still here, unlike a lot of people. He should have listened to his king.
That's what I believe. We would have been massacred like the others if we'd fought from the beginning of the conflict. Relmar betrayed his people, his king, and his best friend. He weakened us by trying to divide us. And understand that I'm not saying this lightly.
Why did the elves enter the war so late?
That decision cost us dearly. It isn't easy to watch the other peoples of Vertiel suffer and fall one after the other. But our king felt that we needed to gain time. We had information about the Deadwalkers that led us to be careful. Long before the war officially began, they were already crushing all of their opponents far to the north.
And you said nothing? You could have warned the other kingdoms.
We told them to avoid the fight, to flee and regroup. They didn't listen to us. So we preferred to stay neutral and not provoke the Ice Lords. They must have known they couldn't defeat us without losing a large part of their strength. So they saved the greatest prize for the last. We thought that our best trained troops could hold them. We underestimated them, and neglected to take into account the fact that each army they defeated made them stronger.
Are you from Caroltas?
Yes, I was born there. I spent most of my life there. Thas is one of the most ancient of our cities. I mean, it was. We knock things down so seldom that the city is built in layers. But I've unfortunately never visited the underground levels, and I'm unfamiliar with the passageways there. I suppose that's why you asked the question.
I'll be going now.